Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 is finally out. Well, it's been out for a while now, but you know how things go at SmackNPie. We let the hype go down just a little bit, and then we start talking about it with a fresh perspective. But forget that, because today we have a new series for you guys. That's right, it's called Ups and Downs. Basically, the actual idea was from What Culture Wrestling. They take weekly wrestling shows and go through the whole show from beginning to the end. Gives the good bit up and bad bits down. And that's what we're gonna do with video games. Hey guys, I'm Chantel, the narrator from SmackNPie, and you're watching Ups and Downs from video games. But before we begin, Smack's got something to say.
Alright, thank you Chantel. Guys, I know I don't narrate that much here, and I should because I own this channel, but forget that, alright? I just want to say that this video that you're watching right now with your own very eyes is sponsored by Amino. Now listen, we don't do sponsored things here unless until we use it ourselves or it gives value to you guys. So by using Amino, you'll get a chance to get a shout out on my Twitter, that's right, and as well as upcoming YouTube video, so keep watching. Now how does Amino gives value, okay? Allow me to explain. This thing is a beast. We're all about community on this channel, and speaking of communities, this app contains millions of communities regarding everything or anything that can come into your mind. TV shows, video games, theories, since we do theories. This is the best. But Life is Strange Amino is something you need, and I repeat, need.
Sucker, what you need is a pop filter, okay? That breath stinks, alright? You need a pop filter. Shut your app size up and keep continue. Wait, what? What did I just say?
Because it rapidly and quickly became one of my favorite community network online. People in this community, Life is Strange Amino, are like the best people ever. They're so nice and friendly. Alright, this is from my experience, okay? I use it myself, okay? I'm sharing my experience with you guys. There are tons of cool stuff on this thing that no other can provide, but my favorites has to be the quizzes and theories, since you know we're all about theories. Quizzes are so much fun. I was playing around quizzes to test my knowledge about Life is Strange. Literally hours went by, I didn't even know. It honestly is so much fun. Also, theories here are just pure gold. What I found out is that the theories on Life is Strange Amino are so powerful than any other community platform, and I'm not making this up, alright? How do you think I got the idea of Lala mentioned in Life is Strange Season 1, huh? There's other stuff as well. You can chat with other people to discuss upcoming and released episodes, talk with other people that are just passionate as you are. I mean, where the heck would you find people just as passionate as you are, huh? You can also do live reaction on episodes, role play as Victoria, Chloe, Max with other people, and do skits and scenes. Yeah, I told you it's a beast. But here's something I need you to do, alright? Wait, what? You thought I'm just gonna show this app and get out? Nah. For upcoming 48 hours, you have golden chance of two things. Number one, chat with me. That's right, I have a poll up there on Amino and a post. Check it out. I'll be waiting for you there. You can literally ask me anything. I'll be replying to as many comments as possible, so don't hesitate. And number two is get a huge chance to get shout out on both Twitter and my upcoming YouTube video. It's Life is Strange YouTube video, whatever it's gonna be. I haven't planned any video yet for Life is Strange, but whatever it's gonna be my upcoming YouTube video, you're gonna get a shout out of that. That's right. And it's not just for 2-3 people. I'll pick 10 people. That's right, 10 people, and I'm avoiding P and because I don't have pop filter. Anyway, here's what you'll need to do. First of all, check the link in the description. Whether you have iPhone, you have Android, this thing is for free. I mean, I was surprised by it. So much value, pause, alright? And it's free, it's crazy, that's what it is. Once you're in, follow me by searching the name SmackNPie. I'm verified, so don't fall for the tricks, and you can see my post and polls as well as my profile wall. All you gotta do is reply to this question post right here, like this one right here, with your favorite moment. You can either type and let me know your favorite moment, or just share an image from episode 1. Get creative a little bit and you'll get a chance for shout out on my Twitter and upcoming videos. Alright, now go ahead to the link in the description and let's get back to Ups and Downs. And also, before we begin, I mean, I was supposed to do this series because it's something that I personally wanted to do for a very long time, so don't worry, next time I'm doing it. Back to you, Chantel. See you guys soon. Peace.
Smack was officially meant to do this video, but for the past few days there's some things going around here, so we apologize. He'll be back soon. Alright, so the episode starts with exactly what Life is Strange YouTube channel showed. Same teaser from a while ago. That's why it's getting an unfortunate down. Now don't get me wrong, it's cool and all, but what's the point of starting a highly anticipated game with stuff that's already shown in promotional material? At least do some sort of add up or something. But don't worry, This might be one of the few downs to this episode, as there's a lot of good stuff to come. Then, the actual episode starts, with what we've seen in so-called demos that like only 4 to 5 people in the world got, with Layla quickly becoming one of my favourite characters this season so far. Alongside Sean, we found out that there's a party tonight, and Sean's got a crush on someone named Jen. Now, to be fair, I don't give a flying frick about Jen, so let's move on. The episode also starts with the same good old feeling of Life is Strange, shots of different stuff and copyright tracks in the background. Don't Nod never disappoints us with this. And I love this season's theme so far, so it's getting an up. Also, the way Layla and Sean's relation was shown, and I'm aware they're BFFs, was just pure gold. And yes, the dialogues were still a bit cringy, but good cringe, so they're getting an up again. And we're gonna come to that in just a second. Then you get the introduction to the Papito, aka Senor Diaz, aka Pops, as well as our little brother, who's like the most adorable brother ever, Daniel Diaz. The scene was so powerful, and Don't Nod writers were setting it up really nicely for what's gonna happen next. You also learn that Mum's not with us, and we, 2 brothers, live alone with our dad. But then again, when you have the coolest dad in the world, because of it, I'm giving it an up. You get more of an in-depth look between your relationship with both your dad and your little brother, as well as the environment in the house. Then old Life is Strange happens, moving around here and there, looking at stuff. However, I think I'm gonna give it a down here. Now, again, don't get me wrong, it's not the gameplay stuff. It was the voice acting that didn't make me hyped to look around here and there. And I'm not the only one who thinks that way. Most of the time, the voice actor of Sean just felt like he's reading a proper script. I mean, he's good in reading, but not everyone's Hannah. But then again, I don't know the backstory, so I'm not going to add anything else to it. It's just that this game is much bigger than non-fans of Life is Strange think it is. It's got huge popularity, a massive fan base, and so much anticipation and expectations were tied to it. Just saying. Then you collect party stuff, such as sodas, chips, or some people like to say crisps and stuff like that. Then you go to your dad and you ask for money. And again, it shows you how your dad is trying to protect both sons while letting them learn their own way. You also learn that Sean's not happy with what happened in the past with Mum. And again, we're gonna come to that in just a second. This whole scenario with the dad is getting an up again. Then you go to your room to frickin' Skype Layla. What the hell is wrong with these writers? I mean, it's fine that they gotta deal with Skype, but seriously? You've got Discord. Frickin' Discord. Speaking of Discord, the server for SmackNPie is ready, so watch out. Then story stuff happens. Jen posts a picture of her outfit on Facebook. Literally no one cares. But then your little brother Daniel comes in, and Sean just kicks him out of the room, laughing out loud, to which he becomes sad. And then shizzle happens. In a matter of a few seconds, our little brother gets in a situation with a guy named Brett outside, and we have to save the day. Sorry, please don't unsubscribe, I know I'm a cringe. Then you get outside and you confront the situation. That freaking Brett is a neighbor of ours, and he basically tries to get under the skin of Sean. You then get the option of either questioning your brother or confronting Brett, which honestly is disappointing, because that choice really doesn't matter, nor helps the situation. And since it's the beginning, I'm not going to give it a down. Then Brett reminds Sean why their mum bailed on them, to which Sean gets all angry and destroys Brett in a matter of a second. You impressed me with that, Sean. I'll give you that. But then, of course, out of nowhere, the police arrive. And then, well, shizzle happens. I get what Don't Nod is trying to do here, and we can transparently see it, with cops in real life and etc. But then our Pops gets shot, and death occurs literally in the first episode. As much as it's sad, from a story perspective, it's getting a golden up. Then we finally get a small peek of Daniel's powers, which leads to a massacre and giving Sean no choice than saving him and his little brother by leaving the town. I mean, even in real life, if a cop is dead, well, I'm not going to get into politics, then the transition happens. And you see that the boys have been walking for literally 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. With Daniel getting upset for why they're walking for days. To which I agree, Daniel. Why, Sean? Huh? What the frick is wrong with you? To which Sean responds that we're on an adventure and that we'll meet Dad soon. What's most important here is the open world view. Don't Nod improved massively. Not like the first one wasn't good graphics wise, but this took it to the next level. I literally thought I'm playing an open world game, and with Daniel walking at our side, it felt so good. So mashing it all up, it's getting an up. The game then focuses on little parts of both brothers' relationships, which again, setting up for upcoming episodes. Each moment was so good. However, the dialogue at this time wasn't really aligned perfectly. Sometimes you're talking to Daniel, and then when you're waiting for his response, you respond back. But when you look at something, he repeats that last line again. What? down. They made a Last of Us reference, getting an up. But at the same time, this whole episode felt like Telltale's The Walking Dead final season. What? Except the roles are a bit different here, and we'll get to that later. And then you stay and, quote unquote, camp at a so-called safe place for the night. And honestly, all of this wasn't nothing but pure gold and gem in my book. Also, forgot to mention during all this, Don't Nod reminds you that your actions and choices will determine what Daniel will become. They didn't say that line explicitly, but it's obvious, which really makes things interesting. Up already. Then here comes the night, and you get Daniel starting to use his powers unintentionally. Not really. It's something Don't Nod teases us throughout the episode, but we never get a closer look. Daniel's asking, where's Dad? And he already knows that something's wrong here. Again, the chemistry after that between both brothers just left me in tears. And honestly, I'm not a person that cries a lot, even in a real life situation. I know it's concerning that my heart's like that, but it's family stuff that gets me. And this is getting an up. Then you move on in the morning and end up on a gas station. This is where things get juicy. You have around $40 to spend. You get some food and stuff for the upcoming nights and today as well. You get into the shop and start looking around. This is where you get Detroit Become Human vibes. That is, if you've played it. Here's something I want to add. Walking Dead from Telltale went from Lee protecting a little girl called Clementine. Later, that same little girl became a protector for a little boy named AJ. Neither Clem nor AJ was related to their protector in any way. Same goes for Detroit. Kara and Alice relation. In Last of Us, you get Joel and Ellie. But what set Life is Strange 2 apart is Sean and Daniel. Both are young. Sean, have to take care of our little brother while growing up as well, because we're 16, and knowing what happened to our dad and in our town, that's what makes this stand out. Up. Then you meet a guy named Brody. Not to be confused with Telltale's The Walking Dead final season Brody, and you learn he's an online traveling journalist, and seeing that face, it's already getting an up. Honestly, it's just that Brody gives you a friendly vibe in all this mess, and we need allies. Then you also get the option of stealing stuff, which will affect Daniel's behavior in the future. Then you get outside, sit on a table, and you get a sneak peek of something about to go down when a creepy old dude drives towards the other side of the gas station while staring at you. A few minutes later, he confronts both kids. I genuinely got creeped out by his behavior and attitude, and in a matter of a few seconds, things get dark. While Daniel runs away and Sean's getting captured, it sounds more like the Walking Dead game. Okay, I'll stop. That was the last time. Then, you wake up in some room, handcuffed by that crazy dude. He told Sean that he knows about both brothers and that the police are on their way to get them. For all I know, that old man's crazy. He then left Sean handcuffed, and a few minutes later, you hear your brother Daniel from outside, and with the help of him, you escape. We then get another sneak peek at Daniel's powers, as everything in that shop becomes a mess. That crazy old man was down, and Daniel was a bit unconscious for a second, but Sean helped him, and they escaped in a hurry. Now, I'd love to add any more here, other than this is where the transition of the story happens, and this is getting an up. Things getting dark pretty quickly is a generic theme of Life is Strange universe, and I'm interested to see what other people are going to react when they see us in other towns. Then both brothers run away and stumble upon a car, but guess what? It's Brody's car, and he's sitting there writing. Sean takes no time to explain what happened, and Brody also takes no time to trust both brothers and help them by taking them away from that place. One cute moment I forgot was while you're in that shop buying stuff, there's a cute puppy there, and Daniel desperately wants to take it, but the shopkeeper refused by saying we're only going to give it to the adults. And later, we found out in the car that Daniel, while everything was happening, took that puppy from the shop, and now that puppy's with us. That moment was really cute, and they named it Mushroom. Then, both brothers take a bit of a nap in the car while Brody's focused on driving, but then something happens. Something we've all been waiting for. A huge callback to Life is Strange Season 1. They showed Arcadia Bay explicitly, and depending on your choice of ending, Sean talks about Arcadia Bay. This was such a nostalgic moment for all Life is Strange fans, including me, as it throws us back to Max and her adventures in Arcadia Bay, alongside Chloe, and now things moved on. Not sure where everyone is. It was crazy and depressing for a while. That's why this is getting a golden up. I also forgot to mention that while Sean and Brody were talking, Brody mentions that he knows both brothers and what happened. And there you get a really passionate performance from Sean's voice actor. It almost broke me into tears. Good one. We need more of that. Then later, As we theorized from Captain Spirit game files that both brothers will stay in a motel, it was Brody who helped us in getting a room. You see a really powerful scene with Daniel and Brody, and then of course he has to leave, as Don't Nod said in an interview that you're gonna meet good people and you're gonna meet bad people, but you have to move on, which is interesting because then most of the cast of episode 1 will not be included in episode 2. What? And then things lead to the ending part. As you see, another transition of Sean becoming more mature and stepping up his game. I don't know, teens realizing that they have to grow and become mature for the sake of their little brother, or whoever they're looking out for. Clementine is always so inspiring to me and gets me emotionally. That's why I'm invested in all this. Then there are 2 parts. One, as Brody mentioned previously, that we have to get rid of the phone. We call Layla, or your choice, and explain the situation. The writers did a good job on that one. Why, you might ask? Because before throwing the phone, Sean watches a family video of him, little brother, and Pops, which again broke me into tears, just like it broke Sean. As mentioned before, family stuff always gets me. It's getting it up. Part 2 is that now it's time to tell your little brother the truth. He basically tells you that he wants a soda or a Coke. Then you go out to get the soda, but while you're on your way back, you hear Daniel going through his power manifestation or whatever it is. Again, this time he's conscious because he has seen with his own eyes in the news that his father is dead. He couldn't control himself as he's just a kid. That's why the powers of him shows his anger and emotions and confusion all going through a weird face. That scene was so powerful after Pop's death. As I told you before, family stuff always gets me, and the way Sean handles it was also okay. So it's getting an up, which then leads to, of course, the ending scene of them going through the bus in the morning, and this time they show that Daniel finally accepts that his brother Sean is all he has now, to take care, to watch out. And Sean accepts the fact too. Both of them are scared, as well as relieved, after yesterday's mess. They're just kids. And that's how episode 1 ended. I'm sorry, but down. Now don't get me wrong again, the gameplay stuff was so much in this game, it actually became the most gameplay added episode in the entire Life is Strange franchise. But where's the supernatural gameplay? We didn't even get the chance to look explicitly at Daniel's power, as I know the focus was on the father's death, and the theme of 2 lost brothers looking out for each other. And I also know that it's just episode 1, and they're just getting started, but still. What they show for the episode 2 trailer should be episode 1 ending or something. The ending kinda disappointed me a little bit, but don't worry, as ups were a lot more than downs, and overall the episode was so good. It almost felt like an open world mashed with Life is Strange taste. The score, the graphics, story overall in the first episode makes a solid start. As mentioned in previous videos, we never have any problems with episodic games being more than 3 hours, and this was even more than 3 hours. Still felt short. Some of the stuff should have been cut out to add some more of the supernatural element of the game. As much as it's a solid start, unfortunately I gotta say that it wasn't as solid as season 1 start, but that went crazy really quick. Then again, keeping in mind for the theme and story, we can't blame anyone for this. All in all, we were going to give this a 9 out of 10, but because of, you know, not adding supernatural stuff, we have to give it an 8 out of 10. Again, I love this episode, but it felt like complete Captain Spirit, and I love that game. But we still need the supernatural element gameplay to make it more exciting, and I know that episode 2 is all about that, and I can't wait for it now. With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you liked this series and want to see it for other games as well, you already know what to do, and make sure to subscribe with notifications on to become an official member of SmackNPie. But until then, take care, peace.